The first boss is supposed to take it easy on you. You are still learning the controls and getting to know the mechanics after all. However, not all developers follow this game design philosophy. The bosses in this video immediately turn the difficulty up to 11 right at the start of the game. Here are 10 opening bosses that completely wipe the floor with us. The tutorial boss in Demon Souls is supposed to kill you and serve as a warning about the game and its difficulty. However, you can beat him if you really want to. It's possible to kill the Vanguard, but in all honesty, it's too hard for it to be worth it. We're fairly sure death is the point here, although you do get a great Demon Soul if you beat him. Just remember, one mistake and you're done. What makes it worse is the fact that even if you beat the tutorial boss, you will still get squashed later on. So either way, you'll die in the tutorial. There's no way around it. The Mega Man games are also known for their incredible difficulty and interesting bosses. While you could choose between bosses in previous Mega Man games, this time you'll be treated to a difficult fight right off the bat. The massive mech shows up a few minutes into the game and he immediately proceeds to start blasting you with lasers. You barely know the controls and are already jumping and dodging to save your life. It really sends the message that this game is not for everybody and only the strong will survive. Ninja Gaiden might be one of the best and hardest action series ever made. The first 3D Ninja Gaiden starts off pretty easy as you slay demons for the first half hour or so. However, that all changes when you encounter Mirai. This first boss shows that this game is going to be just as hard as the original 2D platformers on the NES. This nunchuck-wielding badass will wipe the floor with you if you don't know how to dodge and counter at the right time. You just need to get good before the game allows you to continue to face even harder challenges and impossible boss fights. First bosses are a rite of passage in the Dark Souls series, and the first boss in the original Dark Souls is no different. The Asylum Demon is supposed to kick your ass. You're even supposed to run away from him the first time you see him. However, if you are a real Chuck Norris, it's possible to beat him right then and there, but the amount of skill required makes that kind of ridiculous. Regular players will fight him a little bit later on with some better gear. However, he is still quite a challenge if you don't know what you're doing. Staying behind him makes the fight pretty simple, so you might want to exploit that to win.
Alright, come on you two. I thought we were in a rush. Whoa! What the heck is that?
The Xbox 360 exclusive Lost Odyssey was made as an attempt by Microsoft to persuade Japanese gamers to pick up the system. While it didn't succeed in doing that, it's still a great underrated RPG. The game is pretty old school, which you will notice after you hit the roadblock that is Grilgan. This first boss is incredibly powerful and does lots of poison damage. If you didn't level up like crazy before the fight, you were pretty much screwed. You simply need to grind out more levels or somehow get lucky and pray that he only uses weak attacks. It's a pretty ridiculous first boss encounter no matter which way you look at it. Bloodborne introduced many PlayStation 4 gamers to the Souls genre. These poor, unexpected gamers were surprised by the many times they died while playing the opening level, beating the same enemies again and again only to get stronger. However, they were still progressing and were probably feeling pretty good about themselves. That all ended when they encountered the huge cleric beast right before the checkpoint they so desperately needed. We're sure many gamers got destroyed by this beast and threw away the controller in anger. Yep, the road to becoming a Souls veteran is a long and challenging one. Devil May Cry is an awesome game that gave new meaning to the term stylish action. Being Dante gave you an immensely cool set of skills and powers that were tested against some really challenging bosses. The first boss encounter in the game was no joke either. The Phantom has a wide variety of attacks, which makes the battle pretty difficult. The boss shows that DMC has a rather steep learning curve and may seem unfair at times on your first playthrough. However, stick with it and you will become the true son of Sparta.
I hope for your sake you got something inside that big body of yours.
You know the drill by now. Dark Souls is tough and the third entry in the series is no different. The first boss in the game is called Udex Gundyr and he's extremely difficult. He starts off very slow with predictable attacks, which gives you a false sense of hope. This very interesting fight gets downright unfair when he's low on health. He transforms into a beast and suddenly things get way more difficult. You really need to pay attention and take him down quick if you want to stand a chance. Vanquish is not known for its difficulty. This rather short action game is awesome to play and has many memorable boss fights. For some reason, the developers decided to make the very first boss the hardest in the game. You lay into him for about 15 minutes only to see him jam about 200 missiles down your throat. However, despite its incredible size and firepower, the Argus possesses a crucial weakness. It has many exposed parts, making the robot much easier to defeat. So just remember to attack its weak points for massive damage. The God of War series is known for having spectacular boss fights, and the first boss in the third game might be the most epic one yet. Every other boss was kind of a letdown compared to that opening fight against Poseidon. It was also a very difficult and long fight as the boss has 3 different stages. It really is a joy to take this boss on since it has so many incredible set pieces and memorable moments. We were almost sad when we finally eliminated the God of the Sea permanently and started the game for real. There you have it, 10 opening bosses that completely wiped the floor with us. Did you also have any trouble with these guys? Let us know in the comments and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
He has entrusted me with the sword while he continues his training. He never seems satisfied with the power he wields.
Someday you will come to understand the pursuit of power, perhaps beginning with your training here.